Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Great Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Well, here it is, another Wednesday, and I hope you are having a happy Harvest Moon Festival. The Harvest Moon Festival is well underway. It's in full swing, and we're celebrating the season with baked goods and with a big festival with our friends. If we're able to put on a fair in our backyard for our friends and family, that's great. Anything you can do to promote goddess worship in our world and further the cause of goddess worship, and anything you want to do to celebrate the Harvest Moon Festival. If you want to show off your talents, if you want to share what you've learned. And there were a couple of things I was looking at recently. Natural Medicine Secrets with Jonathan Otto, and the Plant Fit Summit with Luke and Toby. And I've been learning about natural foods and the benefits of a plant-based diet. Today I want to talk about, I am actually thinking about going back to college. Now, I'll tell you how this began, how I began thinking about going back to college, how I reached this decision that I wanted to go back to college. It was because I found out in one of the summits, I think it was the Plant Fit Summit, there was this woman, and she was talking about college for seniors, right? And she was saying that, did you know in all 50 states, you can go to college for free if you're over 62. I did not know this. But there may be a nominal charge. If you want credit. So you can go to college and audit the classes for free. Okay, for free. So you can take any class you want for free and audit the class if you're over 62. If you want credit, however, there's a nominal fee. It's $10 per credit where I live. It depends on the university. It depends on where you're going, whether you're going to a college, a community college, a technical college, a university. It depends on the university or the college. So depending on the university and the college, there may be a nominal fee per credit, but it's very low. So where I live, it's $10 per credit. And I thought to myself, this is great. My mom could go back to college, and she does Spanish lessons every day. She could learn Spanish in college, and she could learn to speak Spanish. And she's a teacher. She was a teacher before she gave up teaching. And she could learn English as a second language and teach English as a second language. And I thought, wow, this is great. Even I could afford to send her to college. It would only be $160 per semester. Anybody could afford to go if they were over 62. But she has aches and pains. And she's in pain all the time. She gets pain in her feet. And she has to wear special PEDs. PEDs are special socks that don't have a cuff on them. They're socks without a cuff. They're just like slippers, and they slip on your feet. She wears Peds, and she wears these special slip-on shoes. They have no ties, no shoelaces, no buckles, you just slip it on. And she has to wear those because her feet are in so much pain, and we don't know if it's her diabetes. We don't know if it's neuropathy. We don't know if it's fibromyalgia. We don't know what's causing the pain in her feet. But her doctor prescribed her a pain medicine. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but she wouldn't take it. She refused to take it because she said it was bad for her, and she would get addicted, and that there would be side effects if she ever tried to get off the drug, that she would have very deleterious side effects if she ever was in withdrawal from the drug. So she refused to take it, and now she's still in pain, but she found out that magnesium helps her feet, so she is getting better. So I thought to myself, well, maybe she won't want to go, and especially not in the winter time. She wouldn't want to go, and she doesn't want to start fall semester because it's too late to start fall semester this year. It's too late. She could do it next year, but it's too late this year. And if she wanted to start, it would be a $50 late fee. But then that got me thinking, why am I so excited about her going back to college? Why am I so excited about her going back to college when she's not even interested? What about me? I would like to go back to college. I would really like to go back to college. However, I can't get classes for $10 per credit. I can't do that because I'm not a senior. Okay, that's 20 years off. Okay, 20 years exactly. 20 years off. So there's no way that I can... I'm not going to waste 20 years of my life waiting around to go to college. So, how do I go to college? I thought about it, and I thought to myself, I really want to go back to college. So I did a little research. I did some research. I looked into it. I couldn't figure out at first what I wanted to go back to college for, what I wanted to do. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I wanted to go into health, because health is a major interest of mine. I would want to go back to college to become an ultrasound technician or a echocardiographer, and sometimes they're also known as cardiac sonographers. So I would want one or the other, either to be a sonographer, which is an ultrasound technician, or a cardiac sonographer, which is an echocardiographer. So I thought about it, and I realized that I really wanted to do that, and I wanted to go back to college to learn that. So I looked into it, and there's some programs near me. There's a couple of them that I'm interested in, and I've already scheduled trips. I have to travel to take these classes. I can't do them where I live. So I'm going to travel to where I can take these classes and look into the programs and see if I like any of them. So I went online. I went to booking.com. I booked some hotels. I went online and looked for buses, and I found buses. There's all sorts of buses I'll be taking. And I'm really excited. I can't start this year, okay? But FAFSA, which is the application for a student loan, that begins October 1st. So those of you who want to go to college next year, October 1st is the earliest you can apply, and the earlier you apply, the more likely you are to get student aid. So just letting you know, I know that we're in competition if you're thinking about going to college. But FAFSA, the earlier you apply. Now, I'm not going to apply first thing October 1st. It depends on the program, okay? If I pick the more expensive program, it's 4 times as much money, okay? It's 4 times as much money, and I won't be able to afford it unless I work for 3 years full time. So I'm going to have to go off my disability. I'm going to have to go off my disability and work full time for 3 years to be able to afford it. And the second year that I'm working, I apply for the FAFSA, and then the third year I would start college. So yeah, I figured it all out. It took a long time for me to figure out all the details, but I was really motivated. I was really, really motivated. And I was excited about it. I was excited at the thought of going back to college because I really want to go back to college myself. I've been wanting this a long time. And I've thought about it a lot. But I was so afraid to lose my Medicare and my Medicaid. I was so afraid that I would lose my medical because I need that just to stay all right. I need that risperidone. Well, obviously, I would be able to pay for it out of pocket, the medicine, except for the Januvia, which is for my diabetes. The Januvia is very expensive. It's something like $2,300 per 3 months. So it's something like $9,000 a year, okay, for Januvia. Very expensive. So I don't want to lose my Medicaid, which actually pays for the Januvia. And I have to have Januvia because metformin is cheap, but it didn't work for me. It caused me constant diarrhea. I had diarrhea for over a year. And I had an unfortunate colonoscopy, and my colonoscoper gave the opinion that it was the metformin. So I couldn't take metformin anymore, so I had to go on Januvia. And my doctor wasn't very good, and she made me endure a colonoscopy, which screwed up my gut microbiota, and I was screwed up for at least 6 months. My mom had a colonoscopy recently too, and it screwed her up for over a year, and she still hasn't recovered completely. So I wanted to be able to do this, but I found out that under the Trump administration, they're such rats. They made a rule that you must work at least 80 hours per month, which is part-time. And if you work at least 80 hours per month, you can keep your Medicaid, as long as you're working 80 hours per month. Now that's if you're working. If you're not working, they give it to you if you have SSI. If you qualify for SSI and you're not working, they will give you Medicaid. If you don't have SSI and you're working, you have to work at least 80 hours per month. Now they have another rule that if you are working and you earn more than $1,220 per month, they cut off your Social Security benefits. Okay, so they make it really difficult. But I wouldn't be able to earn enough money. I wouldn't be able to earn enough money for college on those wages, at that wage level. So I was very unhappy with their rules. But there's good news on the Medicare front. Medicare, you get to keep for 8.5 years from the time you start working. So I would have Medicare at least through the end of college. And so I was excited. I was excited about the prospect of going back to college, and I have to investigate the programs. It'll take some time. And it'll be very soon. It'll be within the next month. Within the next month, I'll have investigated both programs, and I'll get back to you on that, like which program I prefer, the cheaper program or the more expensive program. And the cheaper program is at a community college, and the one that costs 4 times as much, the more expensive program, is actually a bachelor's, and that's at a university. So, but they're both good sonography programs, and with the bachelor's, you have the option of becoming an echocardiographer, which is the person who operates the echocardiogram machine that photographs your heart. So I'm kind of excited, and I can hardly wait to get started. I can hardly wait to get started learning about these programs and learning the details and learning the basics, and learning about financial aid, because I'm going to need a lot of financial aid. And I tell you what, I do not have very much confidence that I can earn a scholarship. I just lack the confidence to earn a scholarship. If I get a grant, that's gravy. If I get a grant from the government, that's great. I might qualify for the SMART grant, which is students in technology, because it is health sciences is a technology. So I might be able to earn the SMART grant, but even if I don't earn the SMART grant, it's going to be, or even if I do earn the SMART grant, it's going to be expensive. So I'm going to need some student loans. And I sure hope I'll be able to get a job to pay back those student loans, because, they all these jobs, they all want somebody with experience or prefer somebody with experience. And you'll be competing with all of these, but there's lots of jobs. There's lots of jobs, and there's demand for it everywhere. And they said the demand will increase 46% in a given number of years. It'll increase 46%. It just keeps going up and up and up, the demand. So I'm hoping I can get a job doing this. It pays good money, so I'll be able to pay off my student debt in about 4 years or so. It'll take some time to pay off the debt. But I know that I can do it. I know that I can do it, and I'm excited about doing it. It's a career that I would enjoy. So that's it. That's my Harvest Moon Festival story. I've been investigating going back to college for the Harvest Moon Festival, which is really appropriate because the Harvest Moon Festival is all about sharing what you've learned and sharing your talents. What better way to share your talents or to share what you've learned than to go back to school, right? So I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about the prospect of going back to school. I know it's a little late in my life. I know I'm beginning a little late. I'm 42, but it's never too late. It's never too late to go back to school if they offer it to people 62 and older. And my mom was interested. She didn't say she was going to do it. She said it depends on how her feet feel and whether she can get her feet feeling good all the time. But if she can take magnesium every day and avoid her allergens and get her feet feeling good all the time, she may go back to school. And she can go back to school while I'm working. I would like to help her if she wanted to go back to school, but I kind of doubt she's going to do it because she's only been to the corner restaurant, which is right next door to us. She's only been to the corner restaurant once, and that was the only time she went out in 7 months. So I kind of doubt she's going to do it. She's got agoraphobia or maybe a fear of people. I don't know which phobia she has, but she has a fear of going outside. And I said, would you like an in-home therapist to help you get over the trauma of living in our last apartment complex where it was a slumlord slumlord landlord, and I wondered if she wanted to have a therapy for that. She said, "No, I don't need therapy. No, I don't need therapy at all. I'm fine." Well, I said, "You're not fine. You haven't been out except once in 6 months." And she said, "I'm fine. I don't need therapy. I'm not taking therapy." And she said, "I'll go out. I'll go out." And I'm like, when? When are you going to go outside? So, she's not getting her vitamin D because of that. But, it's just the way things are. She isn't going back to school. I'm going to go back to school. Nothing's going to stop me now. I want to show you something. Take a look. I made this sign. Winners never quit and quitters never win. And I made this sign to encourage myself, because after I had investigated this and spent days of my life on it, I was actually thinking of giving it up and not doing it. And I said to myself, I can't give up. I cannot give up no matter what. It'll take a lot of wherewithal and foresight and daring do, get up and go to accomplish this. And I have to make the effort. I have to go through with it, because starting my own business is not really possible for me. I don't have the confidence to get a scholarship. I really don't have the confidence to start my own business. I really don't have what it takes to run a business. It's not my thing. But I know that I can be a stenographer. I know I can do that, because I have a smart mind, and I have a mind for mathematics, and I have a mind for science. So I know I can do that. So I'm going to try. I'm going to try to go back to school and get a job as a stenographer. And depending on the program I pick, I may be able to get a job right out of college. So that's it. Have a great Harvest Moon Festival. And next week, I will tell you when it starts, is Vegan Thanksgiving, which is Goddess Worshippers Thanksgiving. Either one you prefer, whether you're a Goddess Worshipper or not, you might like Vegan Thanksgiving. So that's it. Have a great week. Take care. Enjoy the Harvest Moon Festival, and I'll see you next time.